if you're thinking about who actually has empathy, who actually understands people who cause sexual harm and might have ideas on how to prevent the causing of perpetration, it is people who have caused sexual harm. And we don't engage them as part of that conversation. So not only are like survivors of all genders, and therefore, even if you are focusing on survivor-led organizations, you would have leadership of all genders in those organizations. But when you're talking about prevention and who actually understands, like, what are these networks of boys who are supporting each other? What are their norms? What would they say to each other realistically, right? The person best who knows that of what's going to work or not is a teenage boy, right? Like, how do we empower not just victims or not just people who know victims or empathize with victims, but who empathize in some ways with those who cause harm to be part of the solution, right? How do we have there be a way not just to make sense of your trauma as a victim by working in this space, but how to make sense and take accountability and rectify the harm that you've caused by being part of the space. And figuring out how do we do that well, how do we do that in a space where there are a lot of survivors, and how do we make sure that they're feeling safe and supported and held, is critical to figuring out how to do this. But when we only say that only one type of person is allowed to propose a solution or lead an organization in this space, I think we're losing so much of the creativity and ideas and perspectives that would be essential to actually solving this problem. I think a thing that can happen when we look at Epstein or Weinstein or any of these high profile cases is we create this narrative of the only people who cause this harm are folks who are rotten to the core or sociopathic or just, the baddest of the bad guys. And we lose the realization that all of us are capable of creating sexual harm, all of us, and it's to different degrees, but it's trying to understand how do we all then take the responsibility of not being that person, and how do we all, if we have caused harm, take accountability ourselves for that and try to make the world better after that happens.